Hello, welcome to another edition of The Naked Truth. My name is John Singletary.
And my name is Ramon Roan.
And today we're going to talk about voting. We have elections coming up next year. And
this year.
And this year.
Yeah, no, here down the 2014 election.
Mm-hmm. And so all across the country, we want you to be involved. We want you to get out, register to vote because it's important. Mm-hmm. Voting determines the power base in America. And so you need to make sure you register, you need to make sure you show up at the polls, and you need to make sure you go in and pull the lever for someone who is in your best interest. When I say your best interest, your community's best interest, your best interest personally.
Right.
Because without that, you're going to be affected either way. So you might as well be involved in the process that's going to affect you.
Yeah, I think that oftentimes that we overlook our local elections.
Yeah, oftentimes
we overlook because we think about, okay, well, we want this senator in or this representative in Congress, but a lot of times we overlook those small elections, such as your mayor, city councilman, all this stuff there. We do overlook that, and those are the ones that affect us probably more so.
The most, right?
Yeah, the most so. Though we do want to have certain, because the senators and the representative, they do create laws, and those laws do affect us, and so that's why it's been very important for us to participate in our election process.
And we need to make sure that we look beyond the rhetoric. We look beyond the tactics that they use. Like a year prior, they start talking about all the good things that they've done for the city. Well, take a look at what they have done. The actual statistics versus what they say. You can get on now and take a look at the expense report because of the transparency laws, whether the city has it on their website or the state website, and you can take a look and you can see what they're spending money on. If they're spending money disproportionately in other communities versus yours, then forget what they say. What their statement is that you're not important. When you have a situation where the only department that you outnumber as an ethnic group, all the others is sanitation, they're telling you that, hey, listen, you are good for picking up trash.
Picking up trash.
And so you need to take a look at, and you need to take a look at the surveys and the studies that are done oftentimes by the very same city. You need to make sure that when you take a look at the city, you take a look at where the money is spent. When you look at that expense report, or when you look at those surveys and you see that in some cities they're spending money for things like children's personal interests on housing, then you know that there's some nepotism involved. Don't put that person back in office. When you take a look and they are actually spending money disproportionately, if you're 50% of the population and they're only giving you 20% of the jobs, and they're only spending 5% of the money in your community, and you're only getting 2% of the contracts, then that's something that you need to take a look at. And no matter what they say, now they'll get in and talk about all the good things they've done for the city. Well, they're not doing anything for you. They may be doing something for someone else, but you need to take a look at your community and make sure that proportionally you're getting what it is that's intended for your ethnic group.
Right. Also, don't be, even though I tease John about being a Democrat, and sometimes he teased me about being a Republican, don't be beholden to a party. Just because if that party is pissing on you and saying,
don't let them tell you it's raining.
Right. Look here, look, you need, and find out, check out their voting record, check out how, like what John was saying, where and how have they been spending your tax dollars. Because oftentimes you'll find that they're gonna support some of their pet projects or friends and helping friends out or what have you about hey, I'm gonna make sure you get this contract once I get in office. You have to hold them accountable. And how we hold them accountable is, guess what? I'm not going to vote for you.
Do you vote? That's exactly right.
And
No
also,
matter what you say.
And also that there are too many people that are walking around that are citizens that do not vote.
Right, they're not registered.
Mm-hmm.
We're in North Charleston. We've got 100,000, a little over 100,000 people in North Charleston. We've got probably 40,000 that are voting age, and every year the mayor wins with less than 7,000 votes.
And that's a good example right there.
That's crazy.
40,000 people that can vote and only 7,000 actually. But he wins with the 7,000.
Right, less than 10% of the people. I mean, a little over, or less than 20% of the people actually voted. I mean, that's almost identical to what it was in Ferguson.
Right.
Exactly right.
Sure.
So you don't have the right to complain if you choose not to vote. Now, you can complain, but really nobody ought to listen to you when you complain and you choose not to vote.
Yeah. Because actually when you choose not to vote, you're actually a part of the problem.
Right. You're relinquishing your right to express what you feel in the form of the vote.
Right. Like Malcolm X said, you're a traitor to your race. You're a political chump. So we need you to vote, and we need you also to be well informed. There's no reason if you have access to the internet, there's no reason for you to be an uninformed voter.
Exactly.
John and I looked up stuff on in North Charleston and the budget. It's right online. The transparency laws, they're right online. You know how this candidate voted. You know his positions. You know where he stands, and you can make a decision on whether or not you believe, whether or not you want to support that candidate or not. So there's no reason. If you don't look, even if you don't have an internet, you can go to the public library.
Sure. And follow the money. Follow the money, because what they do with the money is important to them.
Sure enough.
If they can come to your church when it's time to get elected, but yet when it's time to pass out contracts, they forget how to get to your church to give contracts out.
You know what they call it?
In proportion to your population.
Well, John,
What do they call it?
There's a condition that calls for that. It's called
Selective amnesia.
Selective amnesia. You know,
Right.
So.
And so, don't listen to don't let somebody feed you a bunch of bull, and then you turn around and say, oh, well, yeah, we're going to go ahead and vote for him. No, he needs to get out of there.
Yeah, sure enough.
Before it does more damage.
Yep, you're right. And you know what also, gentlemen? We need more African Americans to be more engaged in the political process. Not just voting, but running for office.
Of course, I would agree.
So, if this video has been interesting to you, please subscribe to this channel. That's John Singletary and Ramon Roan, as we pursue our mission of making our justice system more fair for everyone. As if you have any dealing with our justice system, be it civil or criminal, you know that it's not fair, especially to those with our hue. My name is Ramon Roan, and this has been another edition of
The Naked Truth.
The Naked Truth. Until the next time, may God bless you and may God bless America.